Ever wonder about what witnesses do on Steemit? Curious to know what projects and initiatives are in production to make your time on Steemit more productive? This is the podcast for you. Your co-hosts, Andre and Shane, will talk about witnesses, what they do, what projects they have in development, and what concerns about the blockchain and Steemit.com they're focused on. They'll also invite the men and women who run witness nodes onto the show to discuss their roles, responsibilities, and goals. Welcome to The State of the Witness. Steemit Incorporated, the writer's block, and their respective owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the writer's block or of Steemit Incorporated. The material on the State of the Witness webcast is provided for educational and informational purposes only. Welcome to another episode of The State of the Witness. As always, I am Anarcho-Andre. I am a Steemit witness, aspiring author, harried law student, and I am joined, as always, by my outstanding co-host, Shane. Shane, say hi to everybody.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Like he said, I am Shane, Swelker 101, witness number 71. I'm an aspiring jack of everything, but a master of none. I'm happy to be here again this week.
You were a master of blame. If you were a master of anything, you were a master of blame.
You're not kidding. I'm trying to shake the whole blame thing. I'm starting to think it's one of those deals where you start saying something so much that people start to believe it and start to take it as gospel. You know, people are like, why are they, new people are coming on and they're like, why do we blame him? And they weren't in for the joke. So now it's sort of like, oh, we may have to end that.
Well, it's a tradition at any rate. But today, as I promised in the show notes and the show, our last episode, episode 2, I promised that I would get a guest on the show, and thanks to mine and Shane's efforts, we have an outstanding guest on the show. He's known as Follow BTC News on Steemit and on the Minnow Support Project, and to us, we know him as Jeff. But Jeff, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, thanks, Andre and Shane. I appreciate you guys letting me on the show tonight. I'm just happy as heck to be here. Like you said, my name's Jeff. I go by Follow BTC News. I'm currently witness number 28. And like you mentioned, I'm also a part of the Mental Support Project. And I am just happy as can be and amazed at the work y'all do here in the writer's block. You guys have really got it going on, and y'all are helping a lot of people. And I see Ron Dak in the audience. It's great to see you, Ron Dak. And again, I appreciate y'all inviting me on the show.
Oh, it's no problem. Like I said, you're a fantastic witness. You're one half of the dream team that is you and Crimson Clad, and hopefully we can have Crimson on here next week. But you do fantastic work. You guys are easily some of the most helpful witnesses on Steemit. Now, of course, I saved that title for Dracos specifically because that man is a beast. I'm pretty sure he's a machine. I don't think he's actually real. He's not a human being. But you do you do really spectacular work, regardless of being human.
Oh man, I tell you, all of us do, yourself included, and Shane. Y'all are both witnesses, and y'all know exactly what it's like. It's a constant effort and a 24-hour-a-day job. Good God. And yeah, I'm lucky. I have a partner. So, I only have to do 50% of the work. Well, I don't even actually, I might actually only do 25.
That's right.
Maybe hopefully she didn't hear that. So, but yeah, it makes it a lot easier on me just because I have a partner to help with a lot of the stuff. And like you mentioned, Dracos is a machine, and I'm glad me and him are actually next to each other on the witness list, and we've partnered up on a new project. We're just basically building just a new condenser site, GoSteam.com. Me and him together, and it's not. I mean, it's up, but it's just a mirror of Steemit. But we're going to change the design. The UI will be open source, so If we want to change the trending, the way trending works and all that, we can do it. Whatever we want to do, we can do it. It's an open source thing, and everybody's welcome to contribute to it and change the UI completely. So I bring that up just because you were talking about Dracos. He's awesome.
Now, Jeff, I have to be honest with you here. I kind of doxed that information on the show last week.
Yep.
I didn't realize that was still under wraps, and I'm like, "Hey guys, you got to see this. This has been awesome so far." And I didn't realize you guys weren't quite ready for prime time, so I did drop it in the show. I asked Andre not to put it in the show links after I found out it wasn't supposed to be on there. I was like, "Oops!" But yeah, I've been on it, and it's been working fantastic.
It runs smooth as silk. It is a much smoother interface to log into the blockchain than Steemit.com. I'm very happy with it. Can you please put a button to filter out re-steams into their own tab, please? If nothing else, just that. Just that.
Yeah, we definitely can. That's already been talked about. It's still not 100%. Right now, we have 2 dedicated servers hosting it with load balancing. Oh God, what else? A bunch of other technical stuff. Dracos does all the. Dracos himself put up the site, did all the technical work. But yeah, there's still a lot more to go. Crimson is making some new logos for it, so that because we want to use the condenser, but we don't want it to be an exact replica of Steemit. We want it to be its own site. So we're just using the Steemit condenser as a platform foundation to start working up from. And like you mentioned, can we take away the re-steams? And God, I'm 100% with you on that. And I think I want that done just like immediately because I hate that myself.
Yeah, I still don't understand why Steemit.com doesn't have this feature. And I mean, as a witness, you're 100% aware of the conversations that we all have every single day about why is feature X or feature Y, Z, whatever not implemented? Why hasn't it been implemented? Why isn't it, why has it been months since, this topic was brought up and nothing has happened? So yeah, if anybody's capable of making a smooth, efficient, and effective UI, it's you and Dracos. You two guys will make GoSteam really rock, and I'm looking forward to using it.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Honestly, it's Dracos is really good at that stuff. He's doing all that, and Crimson's going to be working on the designs and stuff and the graphics. Me, I tell you, when it comes to that, I'm more of like the behind the scenes. I pay for the servers or get a start. I'll go get the servers and more like the financial part, I guess you could say.
Well,
and
hell,
the
that's
ideas,
important too.
maybe.
Without the servers, you wouldn't have it, right?
Well, yeah, that's for sure. But yeah,
all the
definitely,
code in the world is great, but if it doesn't have anywhere to go to, so I mean, you serve a very important function, and I feel you on that one because myself, I'm not a coder either, so I don't have a whole lot of expertise to throw behind a project like that.
yeah, it's when you to bring that up, like I'm not a coder, I'm not a dev, and to be a witness, you've got to have certain talents. And knowing, let me give you an example. Say you're a top 20 witness, and you're catching a block every 20, 40, 60 seconds. Every 60 seconds, you're signing a block. If your witness, for some reason, goes down, you have to have the ability to get on that immediately. I don't mean in an hour or 45 minutes. I mean literally within 5, 10, 15 minutes. You need to be able to fix that. And so people ask me sometimes, says, we know you're not a dev, so what are you doing? Well, I have we have 2 full-time devs that work with us, thankfully. We pay them a small salary, and they monitor. We have 3 different witness servers now. We have 1 main and then 2 failover backups. And I have a systems administrator that monitors them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if something does happen. But anyways, my point is we all have different talents. So like luckily I have devs that can take up the slack as far as the technical side. If something goes wrong on Node, I've got somebody on duty to take care of that. And what I'm good at is what I do for a living is I'm involved in crypto. I trade cryptos and I also do marketing. And I work for myself online. So that's kind of where I come in. I'm an entrepreneur. So we all have different talents. Crimson is real great with design and graphics, and she's a great writer. So I don't know if y'all noticed, but on some of those posts that I make from my account about the witness, it's not really all my writing. That's 99.9% Crimson's writing, just because y'all see how the way I type. I can't type and I would misspell every daggone word there is.
So speaking of that, you guys hit it pretty big recently with the pumpkin vote. And that was based off of a Charlie Brown Halloween takeoff you did the night before Halloween. So who came up with turned out to be pretty darn successful story for you.
Yeah, that was amazing. Oh dear God, I can't tell you. I literally had tears in my eyes and was dancing when that pumpkin vote. You know how passionate we are. Uh, I know 90% of us witnesses are very, very passionate. I know Andrew, I know Shane is, Andrew is, Dracos is. We all, the wit being to me being a witness is very personal and very business. So getting a vote like that just was amazing. And Crimson and I had come up with an idea. It was Halloween time. We had noticed that specific account was making a few moves. Well, we we wanted to at least get eyes on us if we could, but we didn't want to do it in a. We didn't want to just come straight out and beg for no daggone vote. We wanted it to be based on.
No vote begging.
Yeah, exactly. We wanted it to be based on work that we've done. We just wanted to make sure that we might be in consideration for that vote at some time or another. So we wanted to somehow get under the. We wanted to get in the radar. We wanted to be observed. So I had written up a little thing, and mine was awful. So Crimson comes in there and she tidies that bad boy up and turns it into a nice big old pumpkin tail. And well, you read it. I mean, it kind of turned it in. Trust me, she completely turned it around and made it a great story, I thought. And anyways, about 24 hours later, I was sitting at my computer. And I know you guys are probably like me. I'm refreshing my page like every 30 seconds and looking at it. And there it was. It came in. And that's how that happened.
And to give the people an example, I don't remember where you were before. Were you at 47, 48?
I think it was 48.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. It was 48, I believe. Yes.
And that boosted you guys all the way to 29 just on that vote, which at that point, that is such a large jump. There's that vote is worth so much that even going up one position when you're in the 40s is like pulling teeth. And that one vote put you guys on the brink of hitting the 20s here in the next 2, 3, 4 months.
And I totally see that happening with Ghost Team. I mean, you guys with that are definitely going to make it in the top 20. You guys not only have the skill set to do it, you guys have great ideas. You guys are behind the platform 100%, 120%. And you guys are personable. And I've always held that if people trust you as a person, if people like you and people can engage with you, they are far more likely to get behind the things that you're interested in and you're passionate about.
So, Jeff,
I was coughing. I'm sorry, Shane. Go ahead, buddy.
No. Go right ahead.
No, I was just going to say I agree with Andy 100%. I'd like to know other people on a personal level. Also know a little bit more about them. The top 20. I want to know who are they? What are their thoughts and opinions on the Steam blockchain? Because the top 20 are the ones that when a hard fork comes, those 20 make the decision. The majority of those 11 out of those 20 will make the decision on whether or not that hard fork occurs. What was it, back around hard fork 16, I think, when the majority did not agree, so there had to be changes. So
Yeah.
when a hard fork comes, you got to be able to trust those top 20 witnesses to listen to their voters on what they want. And if you're a good witness, in my personal opinion, I think you listen to the majority of the people and what they want, and then you go with that. If you believe that's what's best for the blockchain. And so knowing somebody's how they are personally will give you an idea on how they think, and I think that can also help you make a decision on your votes. At least that's how I feel about that.
Now, I do have a couple questions for you here. And I'll skip the fun one to last because I know we don't have a ton of time. But I didn't get all the details of it, but I understand there were some rumblings about changes to the way witnesses work coming up soon. It's come out of Steamfest. Have you heard anything about this? About now the witnesses will be trusted to sign their own blocks instead of checking it with the other witnesses?
I'll be honest with you. The first I heard of that was also at the Steamfest yesterday, I think it was, that we were listening to. That is the very first I've heard about that. Uh, and obviously, they're all still at Steamfest, so I'm kind of waiting on them to get back, and hopefully, there'll be a little bit more explanation about that. Um, I don't really know enough about that to have an opinion on it yet. Probably, because probably like you, it just I don't know. I don't know if it's something that I'm going to agree with or not yet, just because I don't know much about it.
And all right, we'll shift in because I know you don't have a lot of time tonight, so we're going to get you on out here. But the one question I always ask Krim, and she kind of explained it the other night on the show I do with Kubi. Um, how does a Southern gentleman and a West Coast Canadian get together to form a team like you guys did?
It's me and Krim actually got together by both being in a Skype group that. So I've been working online for myself. I want to say since around 2009, 2010, somewhere in there. And Crimson also does online marketing, design work, and stuff like that. So I'm a member of 100 different groups, and one of the secret, well, I say secret, I'm kind of holding my hands up in quotes, but so one of these Skype groups that you have to be invited into, me and Crimson both happened to be invited into that. And, so we had worked together on other projects, and and then my God, we found steaming, and man, it just took off. We are like, hey, let's do this. We thought we made a great team, and we thought it best to if we were so in love with Steam and Steam It that we decided that the next step was for us to try to support the blockchain itself with the witness, and we decided to do that together since we thought we did well on other projects, marketing and online projects that we worked on before.
Awesome. So I know you're going to get out of here, so I'm going to wrap up my line of questioning here real quick. Is there anything, I know of a couple, but I can't really let them out of the bag yet. Is there anything on the way as far as tools that you guys are getting ready to release that you can talk about at this point?
That was going to be my next question.
Actually, there's one, two, three. Just off the top of my head, there's three tools. I think there's actually 4 or 5. There's 3 I can think of right off the top of my head. One is 100% done, that we are actually writing the post up for it now. We'll probably post about it Monday, though, just because a lot of people are at Steamfest right now, blah, blah, blah. And we agreed, let's just wait till Monday when everybody's kind of back on and things are. So, yes, we have a new tool coming out Monday. I don't see why I can't say what it is. I mean, it's not, all what it's going to be is just a tag. I'm calling it the, oh God, hold on, let me go to the page here. What am I calling it? The, here we go. Here we go. Steam it, tag and title analyzer. So let me give you an example.
Oh,
You're sitting around. Rondek, I know, loves pets, loves dogs, has a lot going on. And she decides she wants to write a post tonight about, I'm not going to say dogs, and I'll tell you why. Dogs is too big of a broad keyword. There's going to be a million posts on that, and it would take 5 hours to download the data. So you've got to narrow it down a little bit. But let's say Rondek wants to go in there and write about Labrador dogs. So she wants to write about a Labrador. Well, before she writes about it, she might want to know, how have other people done with this? Who has written about Labradors before? How many votes did they get? How much money did they make? She may want to go look on exactly what they wrote about. So you're going to go in here, you're going to type in Labrador, and you're going to get a list of all the posts where somebody wrote about Labrador. You're going to see how many votes they got, who voted for them, how much SPD, how much SP, and they have a permanent link to the post, so you can go read it if you want to. But I do a lot of Google advertising and stuff, and we use keywords and stuff, and I'm always looking at others advertising on a keyword to kind of give me an idea on how I might want to do mine. So we decided, hey, maybe that'll help some minnows. They're trying to decide what to write about. Let's give them a way that they can easily go search on a keyword on Steam it and see how others have done with that keyword, or see how they wrote about it, see how much money they made and stuff. So that's the one we're fixing to release Monday.
I was not aware of this one, and my jaw has hit the table listening to this. So basically, you just built a long tail keyword tool for Steemit. For people that may not know what that means, that's a pretty darn big deal, Jeff. This is huge.
Yeah, I'll say this is a tool that I would want to use. I mean, when I make my posts, I consider my tags and my titles in such a way that they will hopefully, number one, be able to catch the viewer's eye quickly. So I'm trying to look for tags that, number one, don't have like a ton of posts and a ton of traffic, so that my post can stay on there for some period of time and try and attract some attention. And number two, the title has to be able to catch the user's attention. So this is awesome. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm kind of glad to hear y'all's reaction, because I wasn't too sure. We were hoping people might like it and be able to use it. And Shane, you hit the nail on the head when you said long tail keyword. That's the word I was actually trying to think of in my head a minute ago and couldn't. So thank you. Long tail keyword. You're exactly right, and I'm hoping that this will help not only minnows but dolphins and whales too. But obviously, we're trying majority. Always trying to help people make money on Steam and write better. Like you guys are great on the Writer's Block, helping people learn how to write, and I'm hoping that this tool will also help people um, not learn how to write, but to decide on what they want to write about.
This is awesome. For people listening, um, if you're not into marketing, this doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense to you. But this is a tool that if you go around and play into it, you're going to see how powerful being able to look up long tail keywords is going to be. Jeff, this really could be a game changer for you guys. Just without using it, just off the way it's explained, this could be huge.
Well, thanks, buddy. Man, I hope so. I hope it really gets out there and helps a few people. But yeah, we're gonna put it on Steamistry. That's the site where we have the Block Explorer and the mentions tool and the block trades transaction thingamajig right now. So we're gonna also do pretty much all the tools we build. We're just putting on that site so people can use it. So yeah, I think Monday we'll go ahead and open it up for people to use. We'll make a post on it, so give it a shot. Come by Monday and give it a try and see if it helps you out. I hope it does. I really do.
Hey Jeff, give us that link one more time so we can drop it in here so people can use it.
Okay. Well, it's not ready yet. I can give you
No,
the link to the website.
Yes, perfect. Perfect.
Okay, let me see here.
And I'll include all of them in the show notes page, both for Go Steam and for Steamistry.
Okay, yeah, that's it there in the chat box. But it, like I said, it the mentions tool is there, and the block trades confirmation in the block explorer. But the new title tag search is not open yet. We still have that page hidden, just until we get a few things. Just kind of Crimson's kind of purdying it up a little bit, doing her magic to it.
Oh, I'm jealous of this one, Jeff. I'm sitting here just I don't know what to say because I'm jealous.
Well, if you like this one, I'm really excited about the next one. That one I can't quite talk about yet, only because it's still not quite done, and I wanted to get it up. I want to get it done before really I say anything about it. The next one after this one is the one I'm really excited about, and I think I definitely think you, Shane, and Andrew are really going to like this one, the next one, because it's something that will cater to witnesses.
Oh
Um,
man, I'm
so,
I'm
so
already
yeah,
excited. If it's better than this one that you just described, I'm beyond myself. I'm beside myself right now.
I hope so, man. I do. I really do.
Well, Jeff, I know you had a short amount of time, and I think we've gone over it. So, is there anything else you want people to know before we let you get onto your sailboat and enjoy your night of drinking?
Heck no, y'all. I really appreciate all the work y'all guys do, man. Both of y'all, and you definitely deserve votes on your witnesses because both of you guys are awesome. You do great work on Steemit, and I'd love to see people supporting y'all. Um, and I appreciate y'all having me on the show tonight. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I reckon I'm gonna go grab my little 12 pack of Corona and head over to the sailboat here in a few minutes. But I really appreciate you guys having me on tonight.
It was awesome to have you on. Thanks again for coming on. I mean, it's really was a pleasure, and I will get with you at some point, and I will come down and hang out with you. I don't know if it's going to be like super soon, but I'm going to make it a point. You are too close to not go and hang out and have a good time with.
Absolutely, man. Let's do it. We'll get Shane to drive over from where he's at too. It'll only be about 8 hours from there. So
Hey, there you go. That's a small price to pay.
I'll do it. I'm in. Let's pick a weekend.
sounds great, man. Sounds great.
All right. Well, you have a good night, Jeff. Everybody, that was Jeff. Follow BTC News. Like I said, one of the best witnesses we got. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and just listen to him because they do put out a lot of tools, and they do a lot of work. And all of a sudden now, I'm feeling like I really got to up my game. I don't know about
Oh
you, but I feel
God, I
like,
know.
what am I
Jesus, I know.
doing?
And it's funny because we're talking about witnesses being very passionate about what we do and our belief in Steemit. And I'm sitting here and I'm trying to make my way through law school, which I mean, as everybody is aware of by now, given how much I complain about it, is a huge time sink. I have to put a lot of time into it. I have to put a ton of time into law school, and every day I come home and I sit down in front of my computer. I'm like, you know what? I could study law. I could do what I'm there to earn a degree for, or I could try and find a way to be a better witness.
Yep, yep. And then hearing that they have two fallover servers going already,
I'm
that
jealous.
I am too. I really am.
It's sad. It's sad. I'm sitting over here like, yeah, I can't afford two 16 gigabyte servers, but I'm making it. I'm making it.
I'm sitting here going, I'm going to upgrade to 32 this month. I put that in my witness post that I did today. And here he's like, yeah, we've got 3 servers going. And I'm, oh, man.
Yeah. Okay, hey, I wanted to ask you because you mentioned it. You were talking about something, and I realized that it's pretty much like brand new news, and nobody's really written or done any documentation on it yet. But what were you saying about witnesses signing their own blocks?
Yeah, it was, and that's basically all that was said was in the Steam Fest. I was listening to a little bit of the streaming, and I caught, oh, was it Soul made a quick post about it, and the blurb was that they are going to be changing how witnesses run, but they did not go into detail, and that's all that was said. So there's not a lot out there, a lot of knowledge out there, and basically it basically said that the witnesses will be trusted enough to sign their own blocks, which could be good, could be bad, depending on your point of view, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, it could go one of either way. But just off the top of my head, I think that would increase the block production for any given witness. Given that it wouldn't have to cycle through the first top 20 and then have a single slot as a backup. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong. At this point, it's just speculation.
Right, right. It's just pure speculation at this point because I don't have any details at all besides that some changes are coming. So
we're gonna have to ask G-Mux about it next time he's on, since he's over
yeah,
there.
You think he's actually at the Steam Fest, or do you think he's just hanging at the pubs all day?
He damn well better be. That's what he's there for. If he's not there, I'm gonna blame him for it. I'm gonna leave you blameless, and it's gonna be on his shoulders.
Perfect. I'm good with that. So how's your witness been going this week? What's new in the world of Andrei?
Not a whole lot. I'm up to 82 votes for my witness, so I'm glad to have the support behind me that I got. I've been steadily accruing witness votes and increasing my support, which is nice. I've always been of the mind that the more votes support your witness, the more likely it is that you actually do reflect the voice of the community, and the community wants you there on their behalf. So, more votes is always a good thing, right? But beyond that, I don't really have a whole lot else going on. It's running along smoothly thanks to the failover script of my 2 servers. Haven't had an issue yet. Haven't missed a single block.
Good for you. Yeah, the witness server itself has been good and steady. I had a little bit of issue one day when I was at work. That's been about 5 weeks ago now, 4 weeks ago. Don't know what that was. That was just my witness had stopped, and a quick restart, got me back online. Besides that, it's been pretty darn smooth. Nothing major as far as the server goes. I did have a little bit of an announcement today for my witness project, which now sounds a little tiny compared to Jeff's and Crim's.
Oh, don't worry. If that makes you feel small, imagine how I feel. I'm not doing like dick, pretty much. I'm doing like nothing. But no, go ahead, because I'm really passionate about what you're doing too, and I want to get involved.
Yeah, so one of the things I've noticed was the witnesses that tend to do well tend to have big projects, whether that's a project that is an app base, developmental, or if it's something that's social based, like Agro did with Minnow support. That is basically what catapulted him up into now the top 10. So every witness that makes a move has a project of some sort, a project that helps the Steam platform in the best way that that person knows how. And if it's done well enough, it can really help you out. So with that in mind, I was racking my brains for the last couple of weeks of what I was going to do. And my first thought, and I think I even mentioned it here, was I wanted to do something to help disadvantaged people in my area, people that I saw that needed walkers or canes that I need in physical therapy that they're not able to afford. Um, and I still think that's a great idea, and it's something I do want to pursue eventually. I realized that wasn't going to work because that does not directly benefit the Steamians and the Steemit platform. So I put that on the back burner, and I'm sitting there racking my brain, and I'm like, you know what we really don't have is an area or a server, an area where brand new people can go and learn exactly how to do Steemit properly. From formatting to whatever, how to do almost each and everything that you can think of on Steemit. So with that in mind, I went ahead and made my announcement that I have secured and I have launched. I'm calling it Minnow University. And it's basically a way to teach minnows how to build their blog um, to do well on the platform. So hopefully all the answers are going to be there. I plan on having written documentation, videos that you can see me going through the steps of delegation. You'll be able to see me go through the steps of account creation, um, and all of this. And I'm going to have it in one central location. I want to have it planned out to where you look on the left. It's going to be in Discord, and like here, where you can see uh, under workshops, you have the poetry workshop, line edits only, playwright, so on and so on. Each channel is going to be one subject. You'll look to the left, delegation, boom, this is how I delegate. And that's all it's going to be there. There's not going to be any chit chat in any of the channels. It's just going to be a strict place for people to go, find what they need, click on it, and learn how to do Steam it. On top of that, I have a couple feelers out for people to help. I'm waiting to hear back from Mux. He had a plan, and I'm hoping that he's game to help me out with one of these, but I'm waiting to hear from him. Um, and I want to be able to do a personalized help for some people when they come on, like a mentorship program. That at the end of the mentorship program, that will delegate a little bit of steam to them after they quote graduate the course, and have themselves a slider for a little bit, so that they have a little bit of a head start when they come onto the platform. Oh, look who just popped in!
Hey, speak of the devil, and he appears.
Yeah, he's always lurking, that guy, that Mux. Glad to hear he got his phone back. So anyway, yeah, that's what I announced today is Minnow University. So I put that in one of my witness posts today. The blog or the Discord is blank as it can be, and I'm furiously trying to get everything together to get up and running the best way I know how.
Well, that's awesome, and I'm really, really excited about that because when I got started on Steemit for a long time, I mean, if you're not familiar with Markdown, you have no idea how to use it. And there's its own particular syntax and how you get things to be bold, how you get things to be highlighted, and there's a ton of different things you can do with it. You can also use HTML, but all of those formatting things, if you're not already familiar with them, there's guides out there, but none of them are organized, collated, and in uh located in such a way that you can have just like really, really easy access to it. And many times there may not be somebody there to help you out if you have particular questions. That's not to say that there aren't people. I mean, Minnow Support has a great number of people who are just absolutely willing to help, and so do we. But we each have our own focus. Like, for example, in the writer's block, we focus on the content of the writing as opposed to formatting it for a post and using different headers, different fonts, different text styles, picture placement, and that sort of stuff. So that service, that resource for people is absolutely fantastic, and that's something that I absolutely would have appreciated and taken advantage of had I had it when I got started in the first place. Which is again the reason why I am absolutely behind this, and I can't wait to give you a hand and help you with it.
See, thanks. That makes me that gives me that boost of confidence, because it's one of those things where you come up with this and you announce it, and only a few people know, and you're just sitting there waiting for feedback. Is this a good idea or is this a complete crap idea? You don't know until you hear feedback. But yeah, that was my same line of thinking. Was when I first came on, why is there SBD and Steam, and what are vests? We get these questions over and over and over again, and hopefully a lot of these things can be answered in just one resource, and that's my goal with it.
Yeah, same thing with like account creation, or how does the trending page work, or how do wallet transfers work, and how do I what does it mean to power up Steam? All of these questions, they're great questions. They're all newbie questions, and everybody has them. Even if you don't want to admit you do, they're questions that everybody has. So it's going to be a good thing to have that resource for people, and like I said, I'm behind it 100%. So any way that I can help, I will be more than happy to donate my time and effort to it.
Awesome. I appreciate that, Andre. I appreciate that. So, what else has been happening with you?
Not a whole lot. I started using Zapple recently and I think I mentioned it last show, but for those of you not familiar, Zapple is basically like a a Twitter user interface for Steemit. It's got a 255 character limit, so it's a little bit better than Twitter. Gives you a little bit more range to communicate. The user interface is not polished. It's got a long ways to go, and I think it's sat dormant for a very long time. But I like the experience of posting something in 255 characters, just a short post. Because it's the same thing that I do on Facebook. I don't really use Twitter that much. I use Facebook, but my Facebook posts generally, unless I'm writing a huge block of text, which I always translate into a Steemit post, like an actual dedicated post. But my general updates, they're short, they're quips, they're little sayings, they're neat little things that I can just put out there and have fun with. And Zapple gives me that ability, and I actually really like doing that. I like having short, small posts.
Now, see, I've known of Zapple for a while. It shows up on the Steemit feed, AK Sounder. He was just asking if Zapple is separate or does it show up on the Steemit feed?
Yeah, it displays them as regular posts. So they're short posts, but they are actual posts.
Now, I was this has been, oh man, it easily 2 months ago. The developer of Zapple came into Minnow support and was answering questions one night, and there was a lot of people on that night, and there were some both positive and negative feedback. Like, do we really need well, a lot of people on here are worried about crap posts, and it was being presented as a Twitter that works on the Steam blockchain, and there were a lot of concerns that this was going to increase people, just posting pictures of their food, saying, "Look what I had for lunch." So I have yet to check it out, but I know they just went live fairly recently, didn't they?
Well, I want to say that they've been around for a while, because I recall hearing about Zapple or something like Zapple for some time, like at least 6 months, but I think they might have taken it down, made some adjustments, and made some improvements and brought it back.
Yeah, and just reading over in the chat here, there's a lot of people that are they're not too sure about it, and I'm gonna have to check it out for myself because I never really got into Twitter. Um, Never really sat down and tried to figure it out, so it's kind of foreign to me. But this being on the blockchain and us being witnesses, I probably need to know a lot more about it than I might like to.
I mean, I've heard the crap posts, um, the crap post argument a couple of times since I brought it up, and I agree that there is the capacity for it to be abused. I understand that, I do. However, that being said, and it's just like Steemit Graven literally just put it out there, you can abuse the regular Steemit client. You don't need to use Apple to abuse posts, and there's spammy posts everywhere. So I think the capacity for abuse isn't really much different in terms of making crap posts as it is elsewhere. And really and truly, I mean, if they mention something about like, oh, well, people are just going to post a picture of their food and say, hey, look what I ate today. Like, okay. I mean, Gringalicious' entire blog, if for those of you who don't know, Gringalicious is a really well-known Steemit author who does a blog about cooking. She shows you, go step by step through what she cooks and what she makes. I mean, I would expect her to post pictures of her food that she makes and be like, hey, look, I made this myself. Check it out. I mean, I don't see that as being necessarily a negative thing. I think it's another way to generate user engagement. And like I said, I like making short posts like that. That's obviously not the bread and butter, and you still have to be concerned about what it is you're putting there. I don't believe in link spam or anything else like that where you're abusing the system just to spam posts and hope and pray that you're going to make like 5 cents on each post, and then if you make like 1,000 posts, you might, profit somehow. But I think there's something to be said for making short posts that are just like, they're quips. They're just like little things that pop into your head and you just want to share with everybody else that's following you.
Yeah, fair enough. I have seen my fair share of crap posts through the regular platform. So yeah, that's a good point. I can't really argue that one bit.
Yeah, and like Uni said, if you see somebody that's just spamming a ton of posts, hell, mute them. That's what the button's for. It gets them out of your feed, gets them out of trending, gets them to where you can't see anything. Actually, if anybody who's listening and who's in the chat, if you guys aren't aware, Steemit has a mute button. Now, the only thing the mute button does is hide a particular user and their posts from being displayed in your browser. So it doesn't flag them or do anything else negative. It just keeps you from having to see them.
You know what else I'm happy with? The big talk is this week is the new logo and
Oh
the
yeah.
and the seafoam green that they went with. Um, I did hear one person say that the Steemit logo is now a chat bubble with a green version of Trump's hair. I have heard that one.
That is the first time I've heard that, but that is fantastic.
But I am pretty happy with the new night view that they put in. So you can have the you got the option to do the night mode, which that helps my eyes quite a bit as I get old.
Same here. I like the night mode implementation. I like having a dark setup for all of my windows. I don't like having a bright white. Um, but the color, God, the color bothers me. And I had a seafoam green 68 Mercury Monterey. So I had a car that was seafoam. Cars are supposed to be seafoam. Logos that appear on white web pages until you switch to night mode probably should not be seafoam.
Now I did hear. I was watching the live feed from Steamfest, and I did see Sneak talk about the reason they changed from blue was because he was tired of all the other platforms using blue for social media. So they wanted to stand out from social media by going a different color. Didn't explain why they picked that particular color green, but I guess it is what it is.
Oh, speaking of Sneak, there was a
Oh,
kerfuffle about that. There was a big kerfuffle about that. Do you
yes,
want to
there
talk
was.
about it, or do you want me to talk about it, or do you want to say it?
No, no, go right ahead. You brought it up. I'm gonna find his correction after the fact to show how this is even expanding further.
Yes, please find it and link it because this is vitally important. So for those of you listening, and for those of you in the chat box, Sneak is now I want to say he's the CTO of Steam Incorporated. Um, he's got a lot of. Am I correct in that, Shane?
Yeah, CTO sounds correct. He's high up in Steemit. We can put it that very high up in Steemit.
Yeah.
Whether the
So at any rate, he's part of the company, and he is tasked with a lot of technical development for the company. So for the website, right? He's the decision maker for the website and for what happens with the UI and so on and so forth. Um, and apparently somebody had the quote unquote gall to call the new logo and the logo color gay on Steemit. And Sneak's reaction was I'm trying to think of a good word to put it that's not like unnecessarily harsh, but yeah, nuclear. Steam at Graven 29. Thank you. You're the man. Yeah, his reaction was nuclear. Not only did he nuke the user's reputation into oblivion by flagging the post, but he told the user to DIAF, which is an acronym for die in a fire. So yeah, he went ballistic. He went ballistic, said it was hate speech, told the user to go die in a fire, nuked the guy's reputation, thanks to the actions of several users, including Stella Bell. And my thanks goes out to Stella Bell for this because this is absolutely unfair. What happened to this guy? Thanks to a number of users, his reputation is now back up, not anywhere close to what it was, but still not at like 5 where it had been after Sneak went insane. But yeah, so that happened over that, and this is just indicative of much larger problems that myself and many others have expressed with Sneak and the way he handles things.
Yeah, so I dropped the first link um, where we first learned about this is in there. Now I'm about to drop the second link.
Yes, I 100% agree, Rhonda. If you're going to be in a position of authority or a position where you speak for all intents and purposes on behalf of a company, this kind of behavior, this sort of attitude, and the way that you handle issues is absolutely unacceptable. This is
Uh,
not how you behave as a professional, and you have to be a professional at this level. You're not just some Steam It shit poster at that point. Like, this isn't shit posting. This is, you are actually in charge of operating as a face of a company.
Now, here is his follow up. This is Sneak. This is titled To Clear Up Some Confusion. He states, My official statement. If you are a bigot and you insist on making bigoted statements instead of educating yourself about why bigotry is idiotic, please die in a fire. And he posted that in DIAF. This is whatever your thoughts on, the term used for the logo, whatever that may be. This is not how you handle things, and this is completely off the chain nonsense. This is one reason right here why Steam may fail, and it's because of Sneak. Because can you imagine? Can you imagine if Zuckerberg or someone else from any other major social media site would go out of their way to do something like this? What would happen? What would the response be?
It would be insane. Like, overnight, it would just, the backlash would be unbelievable. You do not do this as a professional. And Sneak, and based on this post here, and thanks to ATS David for pointing this out, another witness and an absolutely phenomenal Steamian. Sneak is the CTO of Steam It Incorporated. So he is a chief officer of the corporation that not only operates the blockchain, but operates the website and is the face of the Steam blockchain. This is not how you behave as an officer, as a chief officer of a corporation. This is ridiculous. Not only is it childish, but this is absolute garbage. This is not how you treat the community. I don't care how you feel. You can strongly word a statement and a response, but what happened was trash. And I don't mind saying it.
It's absolute trash. And I think what's even a bigger shame is that this is a platform that sort of prides itself on freedom of speech and liberty. And I don't think you have that when you have the CTO deciding what is and isn't free speech and just deciding, I don't like that. I didn't like that a lot. Nuke an account. That is just horse shit to the highest level.
Yeah, I mean, and this is not the first time this has happened. Although I think this is the first time this has happened to this degree and over something absolutely so trivial and petty as calling the color of the logo, gay, which, whether or not you consider that to be, uncouth or in bad taste, fine, okay, it's a reasonable opinion to have, that maybe, the use of the word gay could have been a different word. Fine. Not only is that not bigotry, it's not hate speech, and to say that somebody should die in a fire for using that word, I mean, this isn't the first time the Sneak has done this. Any time, and this has been an ongoing thing, and I've talked about this and seen Witness talking about this on a number of different occasions. Anytime somebody says something negative about the Steam It website, Sneak makes it a point to make sure that that voice is not heard. So this is ridiculous. Like, this is beyond ridiculous. And I'm so glad you brought up the logo, because this brought this to mind, and this was actually something I wanted to discuss.
Now, I did see during Steamfest, he was up there during a question and answer session, and someone asked him, and they were soft with him about, but they did ask him about the flagging, and he looked straight at the person and with a straight face said, "Flagging does not cost you any money because you're not paid until 7 days after your post. So when a post is flagged, that's not costing anything to that person." Okay, technically, yes, but in reality, that's a horseshit answer.
That is an absolutely horseshit answer. Never mind the fact that it does affect post payout. So regardless of how lucky you get in the ensuing 7 days, and maybe hopefully you'll get to the point where you can, maybe earn some of that back because your post was actually a reasonable post and had a point to make and is actually good content. The damage to your reputation from a downvote by Sneak is insane.
It's absolutely insane. What is he sitting at right now?
Well, I'll tell you in a second. Here, I'm going to get him pulled up.
Yeah, it just burns me a little bit, and I sit there and I'm sitting here talking about this, and I'm wondering, what if he hears this? Are we going to be hosed over? Because I don't know. It's worth it though. It's worth it to speak out against.
Oh my God! If he does that, There are
Well, I
there are few things that please a shit poster more, and I am a shit poster. I can be if I'm pushed. I don't like doing that because, frankly, I don't think it adds much to the conversation. But if we're going to go down that road, I have no compunction whatsoever about blasting this everywhere I can, as often as I can, until you see nothing else in your feed. I I don't want him to be that dumb. I really don't. And I'm not saying that because I have a whole lot of clout. I don't. I'm just a minnow. I have 1,700 SP in my account, 700 of which is delegated. So I don't have like a whole lot of clout. But I am not a bad person. I'm a very decent person, and I'm very passionate about the platform. And I think there are issues that need to be addressed. And I'm not the only one. So if he wants to poke that hornet's nest, it's not just going to be me he has to deal with. It's going to be everybody else who thinks the same way I do about it.
and there are plenty of people out there. And I'm looking at this post, and I see quite a few downvotes on his official statement here. One, two, three, four, five. Just off the five of the that you can see there are downvotes. So there is a little bit of backlash going. I'm not sure it's going to do any good, but at least there are people out there that are, you know, with their flag stating their displeasure.
Which at the end of the day is really, that's the purpose of the flagging feature, is to, point out to the author, hey, look, whatever you posted, whether I agree with it or not, this is in poor taste. This is not good for the community. This is not good for the platform. This is not good. This is not a practice that we need to be encouraging and advocating here.
Exactly, exactly. All right, I'm all worked up. How about you?
Oh yeah, totally, totally. If you didn't notice my raising my voice and saying I wish he would, but I so what what else did you want to where else did you want to go from there? That was
Yeah,
that
I'm
was a pretty good way to rise to peak levels of
yeah.
adrenaline.
I'm not sure how we bring it down from there. What's been going on with your writing? How's everyone doing in the writer's block? Huh?
Well, I honestly I don't spend nearly as much time in there as I'd like to. I really don't, and I should, and I do feel bad about that. My writing's been going pretty good. I'm breaking down an outline for another story that I'm trying to write, which I mentioned. God, I think it was like over a month ago now. It was a story that I originally started writing for National Novel Writing Month in November, and I didn't get nearly as far as I'd like to. So I've kind of had it archived. I brought it back out, had Rhonda and Carol take a look through it. They said it was a really good idea. The concept itself was good. So I'm going back and trying to clarify where I want to take the story and come up with an outline, which is, I mean, for anybody who knows me, I don't come up with outlines for stories. I kind of just start writing things on a page and let nature take its course. So this is kind of a new experience for me. What about you?
Yeah, like I said, with besides the announcement, I've just been working on. I was counting it up when I was writing that post. I do work on 7 different radio shows of the
Yes, yeah, I saw
episode.
that. I saw that.
uh, Please mention how much Andre is doing to help the rescue. He's raised some coin for our heating project. What? Tell me more about this.
Oh, okay. I will be happy to. All right, so I recently started a GoFundMe page for to help with Rhonda Kay and funding her animal rescue shelter up in Tazewell, Virginia. For those of you that aren't aware, I'll drop a link, and that way you guys can have access to it. But she runs a shelter. Not only is she an accomplished writer, an accomplished editor, an accomplished, awesome human being, and the life of the writer's block, pretty much, but she also rescues animals. And in her corner of Virginia, apparently nobody really cares about rescue animals because life is hard, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, The building that she uses as a rescue was built in the 40s. It has cloth wiring. She can't run heaters without risking catching the whole thing on fire. However, she does have an open line where she can install new wiring and convert an outlet so that she can run heaters for the pets. Anybody who's lived up there in the United States knows that it gets well below freezing at night in the wintertime. So I started a GoFundMe page so that we could try and raise some money. It's not going to take a whole lot. I set the goal for like $1,000. It's not even going to take that much. But every bit is going to help to replace the wiring, get heaters in there, and get it to where those animals will actually have some warmth in the winter and not just have to rely on blankets and, just trying to keep heat in.
Very nice. How's it going so far?
Well, we've raised $95, so I have been pleasantly pleased about it.
Very nice. When did you launch this?
This was 2 days ago, 48 hours, I think.
Oh,
yeah, it was
nice.
like 48
very
hours
nice.
ago, and we've already raised about $100.
Oh, cool. So hopefully we can get this going. I'm definitely going to re-steam this whenever you drop the link, because I don't think I did. I'm so flaky. As I'm aging, my memory is getting worse and worse.
Blame shame.
I know, it's getting awful. So,
how old are you now?
nice.
Like 75, 80?
Yeah, it's it's like
Does it
44
vary?
going on 75. It does. Yeah, I hit my 40s, man, and my body fell apart. Yeah, my body just fell apart.
I am not looking forward to that. I am 30. I am at 30, and I'm very happy where I'm at. There's many things that I can't do anymore, like stay up late and then wake up early like I used to be able to. And I can accept that. But thankfully, my body is not completely falling apart. It feels that way most days, but I can push through
it. Yeah, it was one of those where I felt great. And then it seemed like almost at 40, I had to get reader glasses at that age. Aches and pains started kicking in out of nowhere. It's rough. It's rough getting old.
Life is hard. Nobody makes it out alive.
So Rhonda wanted to make sure that you got all the love that you possibly can for doing what you're doing for the shelter.
Well, I mean, it's, I saw that, and it's like I've said before, I love Rhonda. She is a fantastic person. She has had absolutely great ideas. The first time I came into the writer's workshop, we talked about the Steamhouse Publishing, which I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am at the possibility of that being a thing. And I already have a novel, on the back burner that I need to go through and make edits and re-edit and then submit it to the workshop to get it through there so that way it can be ready to publish through our publishing imprint. But she's got just absolutely fantastic ideas, and she is so supportive. I mean, and she doesn't sugarcoat anything. She tells you how it is, and she tells you what you need to do to improve, but she will be with you every step of the way, and she helps people. And that's her big contribution, is she wants to help, and she's a genuinely helpful, pleasant, wonderful person. I mean, she's got a heart of gold. And this was this was the least I could this was really the least I could do. I would have liked to do more. I don't have a whole lot of money to donate myself, otherwise I would have just, taken my card, gone through PayPal, and just sent her the money to do it. But sadly, I'm poor because I'm a law school student, and law school students don't get paid for, the 3 years that we're here. And we can't work because we're too busy doing law school stuff. But I figured this would be a good way to not only increase awareness of what she's doing, but also, get other people in to try to help support the project. I'm kind of ambivalent about strays. I mean, I come from a place, I was born in a place where usually as far as stray dogs go, I mean, they're left alone, or if they're a nuisance, they're just kind of, killed off. But I love dogs, I love cats, and I understand that sentimentality with pets. I do, I really do. And she's got a huge, huge heart for animals, and I would love to do something to help. So that's why I started the GoFundMe page. I'm just trying to help, that's all.
You realize she yelled at me last night.
Why? What did she do? What did you do?
Yeah, I did. I thought I was being okay.
You're never being okay.
Well, that's fair enough. I'll take that. But I won't even call it drama. But there was a little happening on the writer's block, and she sent me a DM, and she's like, "What do you think of this?" And I'm like, "Well, I think it's a pretty good idea." And she says, "No, You're wrong. In DM, that's the way I read it in my head because everyone's always yelling at me. And I said, "Oh, we're going to fight about this, aren't we?" And then we had a laugh. It was a joke. So she didn't really yell. It just I just thought we'd bring
she
the
yells at
level
you the
down
way
a
I
little bit.
yell at you in a loving
Exactly.
tone. There's endearment behind
Exactly.
it.
I thought I'd just change the tone just a little bit. So yeah, but what you're doing for her is fantastic, man. I appreciate it because I am an animal lover myself. I have 5 cats. All of them are rescues. Um, my dogs were rescues that I've had. So yeah, what you're doing to help her, help the animals is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I think that's a good idea, Rhonda. I think we're going to try to figure out a way that we can use this to help get you some more votes too, because you do deserve it.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm just trying to help.
Just take the compliment.
I'll take it. Fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really do get a kick out of seeing people happy, and I won't lie, it's nice when I get the acknowledgement, but the acknowledgement's not necessary. But thank you for giving it to me, and I really do appreciate it. It's huge for me as well.
Oh, I'm glad you took that as the joke it was meant to be there. So before that, yeah, I was looking. I do 7 radio shows, and I'm sitting there trying to think, how in the world do I do all of this and still have time to not do half the stuff I'm supposed to? It's kind of strange.
Well, because you're not a law school student, so you have plenty of time to do 7 shows.
Oh, I don't know about that. Working full time, The Witness, the radio shows.
Oh my God, I would kill to be working full time again. You have no idea.
No. I'm just saying, but you work full time. There's a big block of your day that you're not working on stuff that you're supposed to for Steam it. I should probably put a caveat to that. All right, I'll shut up because yeah, I remember not working when I was going through school. It sucked.
No, well, see, and that's the thing. When you're at work, yeah, it's a huge chunk of your time. But once you're off work, you're done. That's it. So if you work 8 hours a day, it's just that 8-hour block. You're done. School comes around, and I'm only in school for 3 to 5 hours a day. But there is 7 hours of additional work on top of that.
Well,
And
I was gonna. Steve McRaven just brought it up. You think you're gonna have an 8-hour day being a lawyer?
Well, it depends on what kind of job I do. If I'm a corporate lawyer, yes, I will.
My preparation will happen between these 8 hours, and that's it.
Hey, look, man. Look, man. I don't bill by the hour. I'm paid salary, okay? I don't do billable hours. I'm not on retainer, man. I'm an employee. So you can't force me to work.
Oh, I can't wait. How many more years? How many more years before you take the bar?
2.5. So I got 2.5 left in the for the degree, and then the bar is that summer pretty much.
All right. So in 3 years, I want to revisit this conversation and see what's going on.
Yes, we will do that. We will do that. And Steve McRaven will probably end up being 100% correct.
Hey, Unprovoked is here. Hey, buddy.
Hey, yeah, I saw him. He came in and he said hi, and I completely ignored him, and I'm so sorry about that.
Hey, Kubi dropped in also.
Yay! All of our favorite listeners.
Oh,
you guys are my favorite people.
So what are your plans this week for your witness? Anything going on, or are you just gonna keep on keeping on?
Well, it's coming up on time where I need to just buck up and upgrade to 32 gigabyte servers. I've already paid for both of them for the 16 gig servers through the end of the month. So in the next couple of weeks, I really just have to buck down and say, all right, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and do it. It's going to happen, and I'm just going to deal with the pain that my rear end is going to take in this endeavor.
So have you looked into it yet? What it's going to take to actually convert? Are you going to have to rebuild the witness, or is it basically, hey, you've got 32 gigs now? I haven't looked into it enough, even though that's something I plan on doing at the end of this month.
Yeah, see, the way it works is you actually shut your server down. Basically, you stop your witness on one server. So, for example, I have 2, right? I have my main and my backup. So the way you do it properly so that you don't miss blocks is you shut down your primary, switch over to your backup, right? And then once your primary shut down, you get on your new server, build a witness node, and all that entails, which usually takes a few hours for it to sync the blockchain and do all the rest of the stuff it's going to do. And then once that's done, you update the witness so that it's now pointing at your new server. And once you have your primary server done, you disable your old backup, switch to your second 32 gigabyte server, start the witness on that one, set your failover script once it's done, and then you're back up and running. But yeah, so you have to build it from scratch. It's not like you can just kind of have it point to the other server because there's nothing on the other server to point to. I suspect there might be a way to do it, like server sharing, but I don't know about that. I have no clue how that would work, and I don't suspect that it does work that way.
Yeah, that was more of what I was hoping for. Because the last time I did a sync, it took nearly 6 hours for it to sync.
Well, it's still better than that time I tried to run a witness node off of my PC, which it didn't sync for like 18 hours. And I finally just gave up 12 hours in. I was like, all right, whatever. I've gone to sleep, woken up, gone about my day, come back, and it's still not done. So I guess this is just not going to happen.
Yeah. So I plan on looking into that, and by the end of this month, going up to 32. What is the benefit of being a witness on provoked asks? Andre, you want to take that one? What's the actual benefit?
Sinking money into something, I guess. No. There are benefits to being a witness. Number one, if you are a good witness, and I've spoken about it a number of times, an exemplary witness is one who not only runs a witness node, but does his or her utmost to try and make the community better, to improve Steam it, to give people better access to it, help people with account creation, help people with using the interface, help people making it an easier time to use Steam it and to have fun and enjoy it and get something out of it. So for a good witness, the primary reward that you get is the trust of the community. Like, I've made friends here through, doing my best to try and help people and be involved and, get started on projects that are just absolutely fantastic people. And I have their trust and they have mine. And that goes a long way to building your reputation on this platform. And this platform is built on reputation. The more tangible benefit is, as a witness, you solve blocks. So, well, actually, you sign blocks, right? So the way a blockchain works is you have the blockchain, which is basically a ledger of all the transactions that go on in it. In the case of Steam, basically every post, every upvote, every comment, everything that happens in the user interface is a transaction, right? And what the witness does is they receive a block and they sign it and put it on the blockchain. So it's there, it's signed, it's authorized, and it's going to be there forever, and it's public information. You, as a witness, get paid for each block you solve. So if you're outside of the top 20, you earn 0.95 Steam power per block that you sign. If you're within the top 20, I think you get 3.5 or?
No, it's 0.19, I believe.
Oh, yeah, 0.19. So it's like 0.2, pretty much, for each block you solve. But you're solving like one block every 63 seconds. Whereas me, now I'm at position 95, I solve like 2 blocks a day on a good day. So depending on your ranking, you solve more. And once you get into like the 60s, like the low 70s, high 60s, you'll be in a position where you can actually self-sustain your witness without having to put more money into it, right? So you do get paid for it. You do get paid for it. But it's unless you have the care and trust of the community behind you, you're going to be in a position where you're going to be paying out of pocket for a while.
Yeah, and I'm at position 71. I'm solving, it's like 2 days of 7 blocks and then 1 day of an 8 block. And then just the way the timing hits, it's 778, 778. So my witness is actually paying for itself, except for the fact that I'm not powering down to actually pay off anything. So it's still out of pocket for me. But it's sort of a net sum. It's out of pocket, but it's going directly into Steam. So it is paying for itself.
Right. I mean, you get paid in stake on the platform. You don't get paid in like, SBD where you can just go trade it on the exchange. You get paid in Steam power. It increases your stake on the platform, right? And the idea being that the higher ranked you are, obviously the more the community trusts you to be doing the right thing for Steam it. So clearly, the more stake you should have. No, stake is in stake is in share of responsibility.
And I think it's important that people realize, because there is a lot of information out there, especially by um, one witness, they'll remain
He who
unnamed.
shall not be named.
He who shall not be named. Uh, yeah, you can get rich. Yeah, you can definitely make a lot of steam off this. But the fact that it comes in as, pre-vested steam power, already powered up, means that you're not able to really cash that out immediately. You're still on that same power down cycle that you have to be if you want to power down into either Steam or SBD. So it's not liquid. And the idea is you're going to stick around and help the platform with it.
I would love to be in like I would love to be at rank 70, honestly, or 71 or 77 or hell even 80. I'll take 80 because I think I calculated it out. I think at like rank 75 it'll be where I'll be able to break even and I'll actually be earning more than I pay in. So that would be fantastic. It would still be in, stake, but the compounding of that over time would increase my stake to where I could eventually, using my posts and curation, be able to offset the cost out of pocket for paying for the server. So that would be fantastic. I would love to get there. I just need to get people to vote for me, and I don't have time for a campaign, really.
Well, yeah, that's the one thing. You do have to get your name out there, and you do have to do a little bit of a campaign of some sort, because it's one of those things I'm finding out. Yes, I've done a lot of work in Minnow support, um, but outside of Minnow support, I'm not really known very much. So, you try to get people to vote for you, and they're like, "Well, what do you do?" Well, I'm a senior moderator here. I've done this and this, and they're like, "Well, I don't really see you on the platform much." So, one of my part of that is why I started Minnow University, was to get my name out on the platform more, eh, to get up there, because there is the game you have to play. You don't necessarily want to vote beg, but you have to get noticed somehow. So hopefully this is what works.
Yeah, and it's like Jeff said when he was on earlier, the post with that got him the pumpkin vote. There's a difference between begging for votes and laying out a mission statement. I mean, as every witness that's ever set up, the number one tip that you get when you set up a witness is make sure you have a witness statement. It's a statement of intent. It says what you want to do with your time and why you want to be a witness. Putting one of those out and saying this is why you should vote for me is not vote begging, or at least I don't think it's vote begging. It's campaigning, and it's rightly should be done because you have to demonstrate to the users and to the platform why they should vote for you. I mean, you could be the most involved guy, all kinds of tools, whatever, but if you don't have a reason, if nobody knows you're a witness or knows that this is part of your witness program and why you're becoming a witness, they're not going to put the two together. So
Sorry, I'm just reading.
yeah, unprovoked.
Have you ever read any of whenever they decide to start sending little steam back and forth to wallets and some of the?
Oh yeah, the wallet messages. Golly gee.
Oh, those are just fantastic.
Yeah,
So chat.
and that's gotten worse too. Like I remember when I signed up, I never ever saw something like that. Ever. I never ever saw somebody try and send a message through a memo. And like now it's I mean even I have them in my wallet from people I have never interacted with ever. I don't even know who these accounts are.
Oh, you got to see the one Unprovoked does. He sent some to Asaria, my wife, and she's just sitting there giggling like a schoolgirl. And I'm like, okay, say this back. And she'd send something back and type it up. And I would keep going all night. She finally's like, no, I got to do this. I'm like, no, send another one back. We got to keep this going. But absolutely entertaining. I need to start looking more for those. So Shadows Pub also said, Minnow, you, yeah, Shadows Pub, yeah, you came on a little bit later. Um, I don't think you were here when I announced it that my witness, well, I'm calling it my witness campaign. My witness project is called Minnow University. Um, I have Minnow University as the account name, and it's just launching. I mean, there's not really much up right now. I'm doing a lot of behind the scenes writing. I hope to have that up and running. Oh shoot, in about a week and a half. at least a skeleton site. But I'm going to make it grow and grow, and it's going to have a lot of basic information for brand new Steamians.
Which, and I'll include a link to it in the show notes page as well. Do you want me to go ahead and put a link to it to your witness update right now in the text box, or?
Yeah, let me grab that right real quick. Let me see. There's the witness room.
Beat you to it.
I'm so slow.
It's okay. I don't hold it against you.
See, it's that old age kicking in again.
Rocking and rolling. My big problem is I see so many things that I want to get involved in, and I know my time is limited, but I'm still like, oh yeah, sure, I totally want to get involved in that. And that's the other
I know.
that's the other disadvantage of not having like a big main project that you have for yourself to work on, is you find a whole bunch of stuff that you want to get involved in, and you try and get involved in it, and then you're spread too thin.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
terrible.
I know. I'm sitting there. I'm like, yeah, I'll help with this. I'll help with this. And then I look at the end of the day, and I'm like, who am I
Crap.
helping? And yeah. So, Shadows Pub. I'm not familiar with PYPT, or maybe I am, and my old man brain just isn't working right
Oh
now.
yeah, Pimp Your Post.
So yeah, I'm not aware of this at all. You're going to you may have a new person here in myself.
Yeah, no, Pimp Your Post Thursdays is yeah, so I'll just go ahead and let Shadows Pub do it because he's the one who hosts it. But for those of you listening, it's basically it's a show. It's a show like we have. It's a live show, and you can go on the Steam at Ramble server, and basically you go on and you have a link for a post that you want to pimp, that you want to show to everybody else who's there in the voice chat room and who's there in the room. And it's like post promotion, but you actually get on and you talk about it a little bit, and you can answer questions and say things about it and talk about yourself. It's a really neat thing. I've used it a couple of times. I used it for the post I made for the GoFundMe for Rhonda. It's nice. It gets you engaged with the people that are there. So it's a little bit better than just plain old post promotion, which I've never really felt worked all that well. It gives you something a little bit more personable.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out on Thursdays, huh?
Yeah, it's on Thursdays, and I'll let Shadow Pub put out the times for it.
Awesome. And that's its own Discord server?
Yes. If Shadow wants to post a link, I'll post a link in the show notes page since we talked about it. But Shadow's Pub has a link for it, I'm sure.
Oh, fantastic. So yeah, part of the deal I want to do on Minnow University is an area that has all of the discords that I can find. So this would be awesome to include on it.
Yes, and that's another thing I was gonna ask, and I'm glad you mentioned it. Are you planning on having a section where you just have like Discord servers for particular services?
Yes, I was going to have I'm still trying to figure out how to lay it out completely. Now that they've added that we can do sort of like channel folders, it's going to make it much easier. But yeah, the idea was a certain folder is going to cover, say, writing, and then have all the links for that. Another one will be the Discord servers, and boy, there's a lot of Discord servers these days. Seems like one's popping up every 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, they're easy to make, man. They're easy
Yeah,
to
they
make.
are.
That's how we made Writer's Block.
Yep, they're easy to make. They're easy to get up and running, and they're pretty darn solid so far.
All right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? I'll be honest with you. I'm straight up out of I'm straight up out of things to talk about. My week has not been particularly interesting aside from that kerfuffle with Sneak and then Ghost Steam coming out.
Don't forget the server with writers who like to play Lego. No, besides that, I really don't have much. Boy, we went an hour and a half for not having much tonight, didn't we?
Yeah, this is great. It's like Seinfeld. It's a show about nothing.
Cool. Hey, I just arrived. I'm over in the Steam at Ramble. Hey, there's Chew Girl. I know Chew Girl. Quark's here, Negativer. How am I always the last person to find out about all of this?
Because you're Shane. Nobody tells you nothing.
Ah,
No one
it
tells
seems.
me nothing.
Oh, look at this. I just clicked over and we need to see where Follow BTC News is. During the show, they just received a huge vote.
Dude, that's awesome.
Holy crap. Okay, they just received the Clayop vote, which
Holy shit.
at this point that only puts them up. But whoa, that's a 12 gig. Was it 12? Let me see.
I'm
Where is
looking
it?
right now.
It's not even listed on the Steaming Info tool yet that I can see, but that's a major jump.
Yeah, 12 gigabyte vote is enormous. That's almost the size of a pumpkin vote.
Yeah, that is worth. That one vote was worth basically 12 million Steam. That's how big that
Holy
or vet. I'm
that
sorry,
is
12 million.
awesome.
Yeah, that's a monster.
Where'd you see this? Where did this happen? Where am I not?
I when I clicked out of when I clicked out of Steam at Ramble, I accidentally clicked on the PAL server and I was in the witness the witness channel there is where I was last. So I just happened to click right as Dracos dropped the news.
That is awesome. Yeah, I'm in there right now. That is so cool. I am so happy for Jeff. Oh man, when he gets back, when he goes and checks his messages, he is going to be blown away. So like, this is going to be the perfect thing to come back to from hanging out on his boat for a while.
Oh yeah, he's going to be super happy. And during that, I did get a PM from Prim. I think she may have been listening. I don't know if she still is. It's possible that I just broke the news to her. She's going to be very happy. And if you're still listening, Prim, congratulations on that vote.
Yeah, you guys absolutely deserve it. I am so happy for you guys.
Nice. Well, good. Hey, we got angry there for a while at Sneak, but I think we can end on a pretty darn happy note here.
I'll say that's about the best note you can end on. One of our friends gets boosted up majorly.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. I have nothing else. We're doing another show tonight. We're recording one of the MSP shows here in about an hour.
All right, well then we'll go ahead and cut it off here.
Cool.
And so it's been a great night. Thanks everybody who was in the audience room, who asked questions and who got involved. Thank you to Jeff. I know he's out on his boat right now. He's not going to hear this until after I post it. But when he gets back, I'm going to thank him personally again. So thanks to Jeff for coming on here. Again, follow BTC News on Steemit. I'll be posting links to everything in the show notes page. And we'll be back on the air again next Friday, 6:30 till basically whenever we finish, p.m. Central Standard Time. And we will see you guys then. In the meantime, have a wonderful evening and keep steaming.
Thanks, guys, for listening. Love y'all.